Okay, example number 2. Long division was long. Synthetic division is easier, but you can only use it in certain places. Here's the places you can use it. You can divide anything by, this has to be right here, x minus r. Has to be. You can't divide by x squared plus 3. Whatever, x to the 5th, doesn't matter. You can only do long division then. So the only way you can do synthetic division is if you're dividing by x minus r. Okay? Now keep this in the back of your mind here. Now this doesn't say x minus, does it? It says x plus 3. Here's where people get confused. So what is r in this case right here? Well, let's change x plus 3 to x minus. X plus 3 is the same as x minus negative 3, right? This and this are the same, right? So what is r in this case? X minus r. R is actually negative 3 in this case right here. So pay attention to that, because this is where people miss these questions. Now here's what you do. You put r. Here's how I do it. I do it a little bit different, maybe the video that you watched. I put r in a box like this, and then I put the coefficients just like the other person did here, and then I bring down and do all that work. Okay, so r goes in the box. We'll just say that. So since r is negative 3, I put negative 3 in the box. I draw a line. I'm going to put all these coefficients down here. But what do you have to watch out for? You should know. There's 2x cubes, there's 1x squared, there's negative 8x's, and there's 5 constants. Everything is in order. There's nothing missing in between, right? So we don't need any zeros down here. Remember that? Now this is the same process as before. You bring 2 down, and you got 2. You multiply this times this, you get negative 6. You add up these two numbers, negative 5. You multiply these two numbers, you get 15. You add up these two numbers, you get 7. You multiply these two numbers and get negative 21. And you add up these two numbers and you get negative 16, I believe. Yes, that's right. Now normally this last column is your remainder. Remember we did this before. This was your answer before, negative 16. What does that mean? Here's what this means. If you put negative 3 into this function right here, you get the answer of 16. You used synthetic substitution before. If you put in negative 3 into here, you get 16. Or you could use direct substitution. But here's what it is now. Here's why you need to know this now. You're not looking at this. This isn't the answer anymore. All these numbers mean something. If you divide this divided by x plus 3, that's what this is showing right here. This is us dividing, okay, even though it looks weird. The answer is 2 means something. 2 means 2x to the second power minus 5. It goes in order. X to the first power. You don't have to write that. Plus 7. Yeah, there's no x's, right? X to the 0, which is just 7. And then this guy right here is called your remainder. This is where the remainder theorem comes in. So here's what we do. We add on our remainder, or we could say minus 16 over, remember this, the divisor. What's the divisor in this case? It is x plus 3. We've had x plus 3 out here. X plus 3. So, now, how did I get 2x squared? This first number is always the 1 degree less than this one. See this degree? Degree is 3, right? When you divide, it's always going to be, think about it, x cubed divided by an x is going to be an x squared. The degree is always 1 less than whatever this is. If this was 5 right here, this would be 4, x to the 4th right here. Okay, so it's always 1 degree less. Remember that. Just a couple tips. Write that kind of stuff down. This is always, so this first number is always 1 degree less than the original right here. Okay? So 2x squared minus 5x plus 7 minus 16 over x plus 3 is your remainder. And this is your final answer. So Isn't this seeming like a lot less work than long division? Okay, but I need you to know both because you can't always do one or the other. You gotta know both. Okay, so no synthetic.